Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. It's now time for us to look at what the papers are reporting. First, let's go through the headlines of the newspapers. We'll start with the Nation newspaper. Federal government, 712 billion naira upgrade will turn MMIA, that's Murtala Mohammed International Airport, into world class. And the rider reads, Lagos Airport to become West Africa's hub after remodeling in 2 years. ADC folds project. Next is the Nigerian News Direct. North in turmoil over Tinubu's 2027 bid as endorsement drive deepens. But Amila's Northern Dialogue triggers elite realignment ahead of 2027. Critics slam Kaduna meeting as political theatre amid rising insecurity. The ex-lawmakers want to stoke northern discontent. The Platform Times, Nigerians gasp as petrol hits 910 naira amid rising oil spills. Sabotage, that's according to NUPRC. Over 700 oil spills hit Nigeria in 2024. Let's move on to this Nigeria. NNPCL, confusion over alleged resignation of GMD Ojulari. Presidency security dismiss reports of forced exit as protesters demand probe over alleged fraud. Staff silent amid growing tension at headquarters. The Blueprint newspaper, motorists queue 10 hours for CNG, want infrastructure expansion. Free kits cheaply sold out by taxi operators, reason for increased users. This according to user. Federal government should ensure steady availability of gas. And let's move on to Abuja Inquirer. Exam malpractice amnesty rocks Uni Abuja. Alumni says slap on integrity, demands full disclosure of benefiting students. Varsity justifies action. We get to talk about that. And the last but not least here is the Sport and Live. Lookman slams Atalanta, submits transfer requests, and then Nigerian alleges broken promises, poor treatment. Angry fans go after ungrateful Eagles star. Okay, we'll tend to demystify it, and I'll be doing this with my colleagues, Etoma, Veronica, and Ria. It's good to have you guys
Why did
once
you
again.
shout my name?
It's just beautiful to mention you guys' names. All right then, so Etoma, let's start off with you. If you look at the Nation newspaper, federal government, 712 billion naira upgrade will turn Murtala Mohammed International Airport into world class, and Lagos Airport to become West Africa's hub after remodeling in 2 years. And if you compare these to, for instance, London Heathrow and that of Turkey, that's Istanbul, London Heathrow, has about more than 200 connecting flights. The same with Istanbul, but Nigeria has fewer. And then if you look at infrastructure, it's completely different. Transporting more than 80 million, but Nigeria does about 7 million.
Oh, yes. That airport was commissioned in the 70s.
Yeah.
It is overdue for a remodeling and expansion. Don't just renovate that airport, expand the airport so the airport can carry more load. Right now we are doing less than 100. I think it's 76 or so a day, and taking less than 10 million passengers every day. I don't think that is what Nigerian flagship airport should sound like or be like. And quite a number of people are saying 712 billion, that's too much. And what I'll say to them is go to the international airport and see. I guess when you do that, especially if you're a man or a woman that has built or is building, you will understand. You will understand that budget is not as outrageous as people think it is.
And if you look at MMIA, Veronica, during the twilight of Muhammad Buhari, they did some renovation, and then and it looks so beautiful. But with that beauty, is nothing compared to what you see on the international scene.
And it's shocking that most of those people who are speaking travel internationally, and they see all of these things. They see, if you go across the world, the airport of any country is something you always admire.
That's right.
To the extent that I have traveled traveled, I have seen, and I'm wondering why ours is always different. We have the numbers when it comes to traffic. So when it comes to connecting flights or whatever it is, we have the numbers to achieve that, and that can also boost our economy. So if the government decides that we want to put in this monies to expand the airport and do the needful for our economy and our country, I don't think there is anything wrong with it. All we will demand is accountability if we do not see the right results that we are hoping for at the end of the day.
That's right. Yeah.
And just to come to that, I don't have a problem. You know, we're talking about international. Let's even go to Ghana. I don't know if you've seen the airport in Ghana. You see how beautiful it is, how big it is as well. My own is not about even just making the airport nice. Make it big. Do you understand? Because there are lots of people that are flying at the end of the day.
It can't just be big.
You don't understand what I'm saying. Let them infrastructure as well. Like instead of infrastructure, like make it big. We've seen what happened before. It looks beautiful, but it can be better at the end of the day. Comparing it to other international airports, and even like I mentioned, just Ghana that we're close to. But then again, we need to hammer on accountability. This is a lot of money. Yes, we understand that to do this kind of job takes money. But then again, we've seen stories like this a lot of times that a lot of money be put into it. At the end of the day, you don't even see what happened at the airport. You go and you start looking, where did all the money go to? So for me, I'm just believing that let there be accountability. For the money that you're taking, let us see what you have done in terms of infrastructure, in terms of everything that you promised to do. Let us see that it has been done. It's a fantastic idea, only if it will be executed right. Right.
Before we move on, Etoma, let me quickly bring you into this conversation. Anioma State as the 6th Southeast state. I know a few weeks ago we were talking about some politicians pushing for different states, Ibadan State, Ijebu State, name it. But this Anioma State has been on the front burner long time ago, so much so that the politician here pushing it from Delta State, Ned Nwoko, saying that we need this the 6th state for Southeast. And if you look at it truly, regionally, we have Northwest having about 7 states. The rest, Northeast, Southwest, South, having 6 states. Do you feel that there is this sense of marginalization there? Quickly.
Well, I don't feel it is marginalization. What the Anioma people are trying to achieve is for them to be the next Igbo state, because they are the Igbo-speaking part of Delta State. They want that. And for any politician, it's advantageous for you to have a new state. So if you had any kind of weight as it is right now, when you have a new state, then you will be a heavyweight. You'll be a heavyweight politically. But the agitation for the Anioma state has been on for a very long time. When you talk about it, you think of Dennis Osadebe. I think he was one of the loudest voices asking for this thing. Is it very necessary? I don't think so.
Remains to be seen. Let's see how it goes then. Right, so let's move on to the Nigerian News Direct. Veronica, if you look at the Nigerian News Direct, say North in turmoil over Tinubu's 2027 bid as endorsement drive deepens, and then there is this forth and back, like Kwokwan saying that the Northerners are not benefiting from the Tinubu administration, but the Kaduna State governors are like, come on, open your eyes. There's a whole lot in terms of appointments, infrastructure, etc.
I do not understand why the newspaper couched that headline in that manner, because what is the turmoil? What's the turmoil we are talking about? It's all politics, as we have been talking about on this table, how it is that this person wants to fill up the shoes of the late former president, Muhammadu Buhari, and so he's feeling he wants to play that fatherly role such that everyone can rally around him and support his move to become president in 2027. And it's within his rights to do so, whatever he wants to say. But I like the fact that there are those who are saying, open your eyes and see what the president has been doing in terms of infrastructure. I recall that the former governor of Niger State was saying that you guys folded your hands or your arms and were looking when several issues were going on within the state and the region. You guys did not speak up until now. When we are talking about security challenges and all, how many of them do you hear them speak? Are we now using these matters as a tool for negotiation when it comes to politics and politicking during a campaign season? Is that what we are now aligning all of these issues towards?
That's right.
Why can't we just sit down and resolve these issues head on once for all and ensure that the dividends of democracy can trickle down to everybody in that region, as against just waiting to an election period and beginning to speak? So I think it's important that beyond just speaking, do the needful as a leader. As a leader, even if you are not occupying a position, as a leader, be doing the needful. beyond just speaking and campaigning.
That's right.
When
we need to raise it. If you are not an analyst, I would have said that you should have been taking up one job, like a presenter. You're already a presenter. All right, so let's talk about oil. Let's talk about the oil industry. And then I think about 3 papers in the Platform Times saying Nigerians gasp as petrol hits 910 naira amid rising oil spills, sabotage. And then NNPC also confusion over alleged resignation of GMD Ojulari and motorists, according to Blueprint, saying that they are queuing for 10 hours for CNG, want infrastructure expansion. Let's see you talk about this, based on which one interests you.
So I'll pick up on Ojulari. So he was put in power in April, I think April 2nd, if I'm correct, and it's just 5 months, and we're hearing that he's resigning. Of course, there'll be questions. People will ask questions, why just 5 months and he's going off? And then we're hearing that. I really pray that the NNPC will come up and really tell us, the reason why he's coming down. Because some people are saying that, he was forced. Some people are saying it's not true. Some people are saying it's true. So I can't wait to see.
No, the presidency has said that there is nothing like that. It's a false report.
Exactly, but this is 5 months.
Why was he having this story?
Why was he there for just 5 months? That's the problem. And when we talk about NNPC, we know the amount of fraud that goes into that establishment. So I think it's high time we need to look into it. Now, moving forward, let me talk about the fact that fuel is now 910. How would you fill your tank? At the end of the day, when we speak about these things, sometimes we forget how the economy is hard for Nigerians alone. Now, you ask the question, Veronica, how many Nigerians can even fill their tank right now? I don't think I can fill my tank right now if we have fuel at this price. We've been speaking about it. When do we get to a level whereby it drops? And when they even say it drops, it's just a little drop. At the end of the day, we can't still afford to fill our tanks.
Yeah, that's right.
Can I quickly touch on the CNG issue? Because I was in Abuja some weeks ago, and I saw the long queue of vehicles, because a majority of the taxi drivers in Abuja are making use of CNG. And so I saw the queue, and I was speaking with one of them, the one that carried me while I was heading to my hotel, and he was explaining that this is what they go through. I think that it's important, it's high time. We've been talking about having an alternative. Now we have seen the increase in price of petrol, but CNG is that alternative that a lot of persons would have fallen back on if it was readily available. Infrastructure-wise, what are we doing in terms of expanding that, not just in the Federal Capital Territory, but across the country? Even in Lagos, we are struggling to find where you can get the CNG infrastructure to fill up the tanks.
So I know that will also be rioting in your head, how you want to approach this. But let me just allow you to, soak that up. But let's move on to Abuja Inquirer, and this is quite funny. Exam malpractice amnesty rocks Uni Abuja. Alumni says slap on integrity, demands full disclosure of benefiting students. Varsity justifies action. Some of the students are actually, taking this school, sue this school to court, up until, I think, appeal. And now the school is now saying that, we are granting you amnesty. Under what circumstances? What are the, what are the provisions? Like, are you saying that they are going to receipt? Are you giving them the certificate? So many questions. But students, amnesty, I've never heard that before in my life.
Is the institutions, when they are cornered, they come up with very bogus language to confuse the average person. But those
people
are,
in the academia,
people in the academia, it's difficult for you to do that, and the people are saying, look, you have to explain what you mean by amnesty and all that. For a university like the University of Abuja, that story has really dented their integrity.
I think it's now Yakubu Gowon
University. Every university wants to hold a very good image. Abroad, there are universities where you just mention their names and you believe that only the best can go through that school. Nigerian universities are trying to do that, but they are not doing it the right way. And we're yet to have one university in Nigeria that somebody will say, if it is that university your child went to, then he's brilliant.
Yeah, but I think OAU, not to cut you short, I think OAU is that type of university.
And that's why this slap on the integrity is a major problem.
But don't you think OAU is that kind of university? I think so far they have maintained integrity.
It depends on where you stand.
Integrity is relative.
Yes. It depends on where you stand.
Veronica, tell us how much more you agree.
Indeed, integrity is relative. Until you wear the shoe, you don't understand where it pinches. So those who have passed through that school and seen what is going on and are feeling hard done by whatever decision the school took, they are the ones that are agitating and are making demands. And so at the end of the day, I think the school should come and clear it.
Do it with clear simple street roadside
For
English. Let us know what you're talking about.
As opposed to
Nigerian to understand.
Exactly.
What the amnesty is about. At least remember when amnesty was prominent in Nigeria, it was during the Jonathan era, where the Bayelsa agitators, you know, those what do we call them?
We're giving
we're giving amnesty.
Militants, right?
Yeah, militants. You know, asked to play the
But just quickly to add to this, I strongly believe the university needs to come out to say something, because at the end of the day, people look up to that university for integrity and all of that. But why I said OAU is because sometimes I do not want us to just castigate, you know, our educational system, because I know that the OAU University has also stood the test of time. I've seen people that come out from that university and they've spoken about how, you know, the university continues to maintain integrity. So that's why, and I said OAU because I've seen a lot of people that went there, Mr. Dele Mahmoud, like there are lots of big names that went there and speak about the integrity that university holds. So what I'm hoping for is for Abuja to come out and clear their name about this, because when it comes to education, other countries are listening, people are listening. We need to make it believe that our country, when it comes to education, we stand the test of time and we stand tall, and there's nothing like, you know, corruption.
You wanted to say something?
Yes, University of Nsukka has that kind of very strong reputation. There are a lot of Nigerian universities that have that strong reputation.
A whole lot, actually.
Quite a number of them. But I'm saying, for example, if you say I'm a graduate of Oxford, somebody looks at you differently. If you say I attended Yale, somebody looks at you differently. I am hoping that Nigerian universities will get to that point.
Yes,
that's my
exactly. That is definitely what we are hoping for. So if I say I graduated from OAU, you need to look at me that way as well. well.
Looks like you've been doing a lot of PR for OAU.
There should be. That's
all right. So let's. I got a signal that we can have more conversation. So Okay, so the thing is, let's move on to the Sporting Line, Veronica, and very quick, you know, Tez comments regarding the story, the main headline that we have there, which is Lukman slams Atlanta, submits transfer request.
Yeah, he's been speaking about it. I think last week we also touched on it, because he's been angry about the fact that they are not keeping up with the promises. There's been an arrangement. He wants to leave, but it seems the club is reneging on some of the demands it made, and so that's why he's angry about some of the things that he said the club is doing. That's why we're hearing him speak about it. So it's important that the club does the needful. He wants to leave. If he says he's no longer satisfied with playing with the club, let him go. And you have agreed that he can go. So what is the problem?
And those abusing him should just keep quiet,
because you can't hold somebody against his will at the end of the day.
That's right. All right, then we got to go, as the director would say in his American accent. Right, just stay with us here on TVC Breakfast.